Shut up and sit down.
Welcome once again to the Shite Talk podcast show. I'm your host, Mark Kearns. Join me as ever, Ken Riley.
What's the crack?
How are things with you?
Not too bad.
Yeah, it's just another day ticking along. More shit stories to talk about. So I guess we can put a podcast together.
Yeah.
Like, it's episode 155. We're only how much off 204 now, Ken? You're the mathematician of the show. I've given up on doing maths.
49.
49 episodes to go before we hit that 204.
That coveted 204.
I know. We'll have to, like, we're building this up now. We're going to have to do something really special for our 204 episode.
We'll do a raffle.
Or we could have Ryan Tuberty on the podcast.
Or we could do like, was it FM 104 or something, where they tweeted, what's his name, Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. And what did they say on the Russell Crowe?
They tweeted Russell Crowe and they're like, hey, want to come on our radio show? And he tweeted back and he's like, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know there was another radio presenter that tweeted at one of the Gallagher's and was like, what Oasis song should I play? And he tweeted back to them, like, I don't know, like, Don't Look Back in Anger or something like that. And he played it. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe he got back to me. So yeah, it's a weird world that we can reach out to celebrities and sometimes they reach back, but man, I am so over being that guy. Will you come on my podcast? You weren't here for that. That's not nice. Being that guy is very annoying for both person who's getting the message and person sending the message. No one wants to be that guy. So, like, it's we could definitely. What celebrity would be your dream celebrity to come on the Shite Talk podcast show, other than Russell Crowe, apparently?
I don't know, who'd be cool? Get Joe Rogan on.
Joe Rogan, yeah,
Joe Rogan would be pretty cool.
Yeah, he'd be pretty cool. It'd be over pretty quick for him as well. Be like, it's like a third of your show.
Yeah, he wouldn't know what's going on.
Yeah, Tommy Tiernan would also be pretty good if you were to stay local enough.
Yeah, he'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, Tommy Tiernan or Joe Rogan. That's our... Or we could go with the guy who actually kind of was the inspiration behind it for me was Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais would be cool.
Yeah, he'd be also cool.
Get on that.
Yeah, well, okay, I'll get on that. We'll, for our 204th episode.
204.
Yeah, we're gonna message them, say we have a big show coming up. It's our 204th episode. he's gonna be like, "What did you do for your 200th episode?" And I'm gonna be like, "Nothing."
The funny thing is, he'd probably be into that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure anybody would be into that. They would pick a random number. We're like, well, 204 is special to us. We have literally no reason why.
Everybody does 200.
Yeah, everyone does 200. So we went a little bit higher, and ours is 204. We don't know what else to celebrate after this. Yeah, so I think that would be pretty cool, especially since like over 200 episodes for a podcast. It's a big milestone. So.
Yeah.
Well, maybe our listeners. We should be really reaching out to our listeners to get in touch with us over people who we should have on our podcast.
Well, we could have one of them on.
Oh, one of our listeners. Oh yeah. We could do a phone-in show.
Yeah, for 204.
That'd be interesting enough to see what our listeners have to say about stories about Kanye West and ducks.
The shite phone in. Oh, we should have the farmer that owns Dave the Duck on.
Oh my God, yeah. You probably wouldn't know what the hell's going on. I don't think he listens to I wouldn't say he listens to the show.
Brilliant.
We're really interesting. Yeah, but we're building up. We've only 49 episodes to figure out who we have to have on, but we know it has to be some form of a big event, and if our listeners could get into the story, we should probably get into our stories. And you are going to start us off with a story about a bison and him taking a fancy to some woman's pants.
Yeah, so ish in Custer State Park in America somewhere. I don't know where the fuck exactly it is. You can drive through it. Like, I suppose it's probably maybe like a massive version of Phoenix Park. Like, I don't know if it's like a proper safari or what it is, but There's a video online of bison crossing the road, and there's a lot of bikers and cars and stuff stopped, obviously watching them and letting them. And people start taking photos and videos, and this woman keeps getting closer and closer and closer and closer, and then like a baby bison appears, so she turns her attention towards that, and she's recording it. But then Mammy Bison decides, no, 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 get away from baby bison, and like attacks this woman and knocks her clean out, but also rips her jeans off. So like this bison's running around for like ages with this woman's fucking jeans stuck to its horn until park ranger comes and actually like approaches the bison and takes the fucking jeans back off it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it shoots the bison.
No, like it went up, didn't have to trank it around, just went up and took the fucking trousers back off it.
Like, did the pants just like? Did he actually physically go for like try to take off the pants?
No,
Or
like it just went for her. Like it was whatever
yeah,
way it attacked her. Like it got caught in a belt loop or something and
yeah,
ripped the pants clean off her.
yeah. Because like anytime you're around any animals like child, they get very protective over it, and
Oh yeah,
yeah. So like it is kind of like anytime like humans interact with the animal world. We're so used to like cartoons growing up with animals or dogs or cats that are really friendly. We think we can approach a wild animal and it's going to act the same as a tamed animal.
yeah.
And it's just never, that's not the case. If
You never ever ever approach. The park ranger said as well, like you're supposed to leave 25 yards between you and a wild bison.
Yeah, because
And
they're very
if the
aggressive.
bison, yeah, and if the bison comes towards you, you're supposed to run away.
Yeah. So like, yeah, like they're quite aggressive because I like before while I was doing the research, we were talking little bit about this off air, and I was kind of reading through a story. I didn't end up going with it, about a wild hog that stole a guy's laptop. Now he was on a beach and he was obviously in like a nudist part of the beach, or maybe just decided he wants to take off all of his clothes on a beach. It's not okay, by the way, if any of our listeners are going to beaches. And if it's not a nudist beach, for you to strip down to your nip and just walk around with your junk hanging out. So I take it that he's like in a nudist part of the beach. Kind of one of these wild hogs must have like been getting a little bit cocky, coming into more places where humans are, and obviously took a fancy into his bag. Probably have taken a few people's bag before and found food in it. So I thought, I'm taking this. Had two little kind of baby hogs with him. And there was a video going around, kind of. I think Union Lad is the ones that had the video, did the article on it, and you seen your man just kind of streaking across this clothed part of the beach, where people are like, "What the fuck is this naked man chasing after a wild hog?" Yeah, so like I think it happened earlier in the year, and there's a kind of when probably only happened a few months ago. I don't know, because no one was wearing masks, but it happened previously, because the whole article was over them having to cull wild hogs because of like them being a bit like of a vermin to society. Like they don't have any natural predators, so
Yeah.
the population is going out of control, and more of them are like going out onto human land or populated places where humans are, like beaches and stuff like that, and them attacking like people on beaches. It's quite funny. There's like this kid who like one was in the water, who came out of the water and like went straight for like this little kid, but kid had like a shovel in his hand. And it wasn't like a kid's like shovel that you might make a sandcastle. It was a proper fucking shovel, like you're digging a huge hole. So I don't know what kind of, it was both happened in Germany. So I don't know what kind of things German people bring to beaches, but they obviously bring shovels, and smacked a pig in the head with like the shovel and ran around to bother somebody else.
Jesus Christ. Did you see the video of the woman swimming with the orca?
No.
Yeah, she's like out in the sea swimming with an orca, and there's like a pod. Well, she's just swimming away, but there's a pod of orcas like that start circling her and like coming up to her and like touching her feet and stuff. And she's really calm about the whole thing. Like she just kept swimming around and swam to shore. But afterwards, she was like, "Oh, like obviously they thought I was a seal because I was wearing a black wetsuit, and they were just trying to figure out whether or not I was food or not."
Lucky enough, they said, "No, pass."
Yeah, it's like what?
Yeah, well, I think it's the fact that she remained so calm. Like, obviously, she panicked or like pretended to like or tried to swim away like prey. They're going, oh, must be food.
Yeah, time to eat.
Yeah, exactly. But they're like, obviously, they're not used to seeing humans. They're like, what is that? Yeah, actually,
What's this fucking thing?
I think I did see that. I think I did. Was that one that's a few years ago? Like or not a year ago, maybe. That video was like uploaded.
I don't know when it was. I just seen it on like the Lad Bible or something.
Yeah, no, I did see a while ago of like a killer whale, swinging beside all these swimmers, and they kind of took a few looks at him, and but then like I think it was the lad in that video. But did you ever have any kind of odd encounters with animals? You're kind of more of a country than
Not really. Like my old neighbors used to have like they kind of lived. Well, they didn't live on a farm, but like there was our house, their house, and then their grandmother and grandfather's house,
yeah.
and they had like a mini farm. But there was a field in between their house and the farm, and there was a goat in the field. And whenever you'd go into the field, the goat was like ultra protective of this field. He would actually like charge at you. So if you were going, we weren't allowed to go on the road like because we were too small. So you used to have to go across the field to go to their grandparents' house. So like our parents and their parents, like really fucking stupid of them, used to just say, "Oh, when you're going, like go through the field, just make sure you run because the goat will attack you."
Yeah, I think I remember my cousins would live in like the Wicklow Mountains, and like we used to walk to the shop, which seems like a 5 minute thing if you live in civilization, but like they lived on the side of a mountain, so like I think the shop was like a good hour's walk, and like you could take a shortcut where you cut through like a farmer's field and go down, but it was still like a good like 40-minute walk through. It wasn't too much, but sometimes you'd have cows, and cows are normally placid enough animals. So I remember one or two times, must be around like I don't know, there must have been bulls in there. Sometimes you're trying to get a few baby calves going or something, but like a few of them had charged us. But like we'd kind of be walking through, and the like I remember we were near the end, and next time we seen like some cow kind of coming towards us at speed. We're like, we have to get the fuck out of here.
Cows can be dicks.
Oh yeah, like they seem like fast rocks at times, or they just kind of stand around grazing. But like
they can be fucking dickheads.
Yeah, no, I had a few kind of situations where we were like, I think gonna get away from cows. They seem like the most placid animal ever. Yeah,
like we had. My dad used to have a couple of cows, and they were just like they're fucking mental.
Yeah, they really are.
Some of them, it's like some of them get to the stage, like some of them are terrified of humans, and then some of them get to the stage where they know I'm a lot bigger and heavier than you, so you're going to move before I move.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some of them do get attitudes like that on you.
They just fucking run at you.
Yeah, because I remember us, Fox, we kind of obviously must have figured out, oh, these kids are quite nervous of us, so I'm going to still continue just going around the field. And we were in like my cousin's treehouse, and like the fox was just circling our treehouse, and we're like, oh, we should probably not go down. And it wasn't until like one of us came out and gone, fuck it, we're gonna just throw stuff at it. We can be as aggressive if we realize, oh shit, they have weapons. Yeah, that's what I think about like with the orchid. Like if you act like a prey animal, you'll become a prey animal.
Yeah,
whereas
that's why most sharks attack.
Yeah, it's because the people panic and they're like, "Oh, food."
Yeah, people have acted like prey.
Yeah, because I remember I was watching some hunter saying that like the quickest way to become prey is act like prey. People say like act dead, you come in there a bear. It seems like pretty like a prey thing to do.
Well, apparently they get bored.
Oh right, that's the
a bear gets bored. If you're like totally non-responsive to the bear gets bored and just assumes that you're like already dead.
All right, that's really interesting. That's like such a glitch in its like evolution process, just getting bored of like things not moving.
It kind of makes sense if you think about it, because it doesn't know how you died, so it doesn't want to eat you in case you're infected with something.
Yeah, that's I guess that makes sense. I'm pretty sure a wolf or fox definitely won't act like that though.
Oh, a wolf or a fox will just fucking eat you.
Yeah, food.
Yeah.
And didn't even have to kill it. This is great. Yeah. So it's interesting enough. Also interesting is Kanye West. He's a great source of entertainment for us anytime he pops up on our news feeds. And he definitely hasn't disappointed this week, because he now wants to develop a new app called Jesus Talk. And it's designed, guess what, for Christians.
No way.
Yeah, I'm not a religious man at all, but I'm pretty sure that using Jesus' name in vain, or the Lord's name in vain, is a sin. So surely making money off the Lord's name is definitely a sin.
Isn't that what priests do, though?
I think their job is to deliver the Lord's name, the Lord's message.
Yeah,
They
well,
have to.
they're making money off his name, though.
I think it's more for the church. They're like servants of the church.
Nonsense.
Like, I don't think they're allowed to have any worldly possessions. Like, they're given a house and a car and all that, but like, it's all pretty much belonging to the church.
They all have worldly possessions.
Do they? I don't know. I don't spend enough time with it. I always thought, like, I remember someone put me, oh yeah, that's where the nuns live. Point out where the nuns live, like they all live in the same house. And I just thought religious figures were given houses by the church to live at, like Father Ted. I thought that part of Father Ted was factual, that they all lived in the house.
Oh yeah, that is how priests generally get their houses. Like, they are owned by the parish, but like, they're allowed to have cars and stuff.
Yeah, I know they're given a wage and stuff like that, but yeah,
and they're given a wage, and then they charge you for, like, if you want to have a mass said for somebody, or they charge you for weddings, and they charge you for funerals, and they charge you for all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I guess priests. I think being a priest is a loophole. I wouldn't classify Kanye West as a priest necessarily, but yeah, the president-elect Kanye West, which still feels still feels very weird to say, but it's factually true. It also wants to put app developer onto his CV. The 43-year-old took to Twitter basically to share his idea of his new platform, and no guessing what the platform is going to be. It's going to be short form video concept, kind of like TikTok, believe it or not, but all things God infused, meaning that it will be a safe place for children, Christians, and anyone that finds TikTok too vulgar.
But like, how would that work?
Basically, what he wants to do is work with the creators of TikTok to create a version of TikTok that's for religious videos, and that's going to be heavily probably monitored for any, so you wouldn't be able, everything has to be kind of religious infused. It couldn't be like, you wouldn't be putting up, it has to be about Jesus or about the Lord or about something. I imagine that they'd have to include other religions in it as well, so it's just going to be like safe space for religious people, but surely having other religions could actually make people that are going to interact, and there'll be this dickheads being pricks to other people in different religions, surely.
Yeah, you just get a load of fucking
shit
either way. Problem.
Yeah, but the idea is meant to be a safe space for people with Christian views. The idea came to him in a vision, Ken.
Oh, as most good ideas.
Yeah, it came to him in a vision. Basically, he said he was watching a TikTok video with his daughter. Most people would call that an idea, not a vision, but he's gone along and called it his own vision. And said, yeah, basically that he wants to work with TikTok in order to create a safe space for people to use this platform. I wonder if like the Pope's going to be on Jesus Talk.
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, you wonder what kind of like dance phase that you'd do.
Is the Pope on TikTok?
I wouldn't say so.
Is he on Instagram and stuff?
I think he is on Twitter. I think he did. I remember when he joined Twitter, it was a big thing. I don't know what his first tweet was, but it was like a few years ago. People made a big thing that the Pope was on Twitter.
Huh.
But like, it says here that it's for children, Christians, and anyone who finds it too vulgar. But the majority of people on TikTok would be under the ages of 25 and below. I know there's a few people like into their 30s, but like, that they're very minimal, and it is more of a younger person's app. So I don't know how many, and I think 800 million people have a TikTok accounts already, and if the vast majority of them are young people, I don't know how many people are just going to switch to this Christian TikTok.
Like, that's a pretty big market, though.
Yeah, like obviously you're going to get runoffs. Say, I wouldn't recommend. I reckon that TikTok creators are actually going to go with Kanye West on this. Like, I don't know if it's be a flyer. He also ended the tweet in a very weird way. I guess everything he does is going to be in a weird way. But he says, "In Jesus' name, Amen." Now, I'm not entirely sure if he meant like the app is literally in Jesus' name, which we got that. Like, it's called Jesus Talk. Obviously, it's going to be in the Lord's name. And then, or if he was actually referring, this is how I'm going to sign off, often tweets as in, it's in Jesus' name. He is now the word of Jesus. He's taking on this responsibility that the word will pass through him, which, once again, I think that's the Pope's job.
Yeah, it probably is the Pope's job.
Yeah. But, you know,
Definitely is the Pope's job.
yeah, like I'm pretty sure he has no other job other than obviously giving the view of what the Catholic Church wants to go, which is apparently a lot of time abuse kids. He's not for that now. I will point out. Allegedly, let's throw a few allegedlys in there. Pissing off the Christian community, but yeah.
Yeah, you're in trouble now.
Yeah, we will not be welcome at mass, basically, if we ever go back to it. But I'm pretty sure one of the popes, the previous pope, said God doesn't like rock music or people with tattoos or something like that.
They've all said that the Bible says something about tattoos.
Yeah, I don't know. If you think back to what was happening with barbarians and the Celts who would have had tattoos, that was probably the Romans thrown in there. You're all going to hell.
Yeah.
For them there, yeah.
They probably did.
Yeah, but Kanye West, like, I think he's entertaining. Imagine, I kind of want to see him go through with the president-elect thing, and just to see, just make life interesting. But thought like Donald Trump running for president of America was interesting, as in like car crash TV, and now look at what it's done. So like, one boring safe candidate wouldn't be too bad for America. Just on an outsider point of view. One person that just doesn't cause everyone to go, oh, not him.
What other celebrities should or could run for president? Like it's very.
A lot of people say The Rock, Jocko Willing. But there's someone that said The Rock was a good candidate.
I don't know if he'd be arsed.
Yeah, like he has huge determination. He has a crazy kind of rigid schedule where he gets up at 4:00 and like works till like 10. He has like stupid routines like that.
He's the most well paid actor in the world the last like 4 years in a row or something.
Yeah, I don't know if he knows. I think he needed like to know how government is run at quite a big level. So necessarily there wouldn't be like too many celebrities that could run a country like that.
I don't even think you need to know that.
I think it helps. I think.
It helps.
Yeah, if you look at like,
definitely don't need to know that.
If you look at like previous presidents, like from the Democrat side, you have Obama. From the Republican side, you have George Bush. Both of them knew pretty well what their job was and how to run a country fairly all right. They had advisors, but like the country didn't go to like shit, or either of these people were like in charge too much. I know people probably looked at Trump's kind of time in office and say the same thing. We kind of just forget the bad bits. I know you remember the good.
Yeah, like there was Reagan as well. Ronald Reagan probably didn't know too much about how to run a country.
Didn't he get like impeached?
No.
No, he resigned because there was like, wasn't that like what?
No, you're thinking that was Nixon.
All right. Oh yeah. I am not a crook, but yeah.
Yeah. What's his name? Reagan was an actor.
Yeah, but I kind of still want to see. Kanye West is just a great source of entertainment. I can't see him winning, but then again, like Wednesday, we're basically saying the same thing we did about Donald Trump. Like we could honestly be next year, the year after, be talking about Kanye West as President Kanye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'd be more of an emperor though.
Emperor. Well, that's what Donald Trump wants to do. He wants to go in for a third term.
Yeah, I don't think there's no law against it.
There is. You only can say 2 terms in office.
It's just a thing that they don't do. What's his name had like 4 terms? One of the Roosevelts.
All right. Well, I always thought it was a dumb idea. Like, if a guy is liked enough and is running a country that has the majority of support of the rest of the country. Why shouldn't he be able to stay for more than 2 terms? Like,
Yeah, it's
well,
like it's just like an unspoken rule.
all right. I always thought it was an actual rule. I thought it was very much spoken.
Yeah, you're one of the Roosevelts was president for like at least 3 terms. I think he died halfway through his first or his fourth term.
All right. I thought that was like around. That's why they brought in the role.
Maybe, I don't know. Well, I don't think it's a thing.
Yeah. Well, we don't know enough about American politics. We don't know enough about politics, to be honest with you, to be talking about this. Do we know enough about Vin Diesel?
Can you ever know enough about Vin Diesel?
I think I would know enough to know that Vin Diesel would never want, or Stevie would never just mess me out of blue and confess their undying love for me. But a woman made that mistake and ended up giving a con artist £5,000 because she thought Vin Diesel was in love with her.
As you do, like.
Like, in this situation, there's very much a lot of things wrong with the situation. Like, one, Vin Diesel is a well-paid actor. Why would he need money? Two, why would a celebrity just randomly message you out of the blue and want to get into a relationship? Is there any precursor example of this?
It could be.
There probably could be. This could possibly happen, but you're joking me. Like, first of all, she's a German woman living in Berlin, and Kaja Lorenz is her name. That's Katja. So you can try to pronounce that as best you can. But that's how I'm going with Kaja. So Kaja is, like I said, is in Berlin and had met Vin Diesel previous to this online romance. Like, kind of, I don't know. It didn't say like exactly what the thing was in Berlin, but all she said was that she worked with actors and she had met him a year prior. So basically, this all started where all good fake romances do online, and the con artist messaged her out of the blue, claiming to be the Fast and Furious star. And she said she didn't think it was that weird because she sort of met him previous, kind of vaguely. Like, you probably met him at like a festival where he was like demonstrating off a new movie, or it was at a work event since she works with actors. I wouldn't necessarily class of your one encounter as you vaguely know Vin Diesel.
It depends on the situation. Like, I read a thing recently. A girl who used to work at an airport rated celebrities she'd met in airports. She said like some of them would recognize you, like would remember you after like one encounter.
I wouldn't say they knew you.
Yeah, she said like some of them would actually like take an interest in like your life and have the crack with you every time they came through the airport and stuff.
All right.
So like, it's possible that maybe she had a.
Are you typing there?
Okay. No.
There's like this typing sound come through. Yeah, okay.
What the fuck could I be typing?
I don't know. All I heard is like a typing sound. It must be just the Chinese listening to us, like just typing down what we're saying.
The Chinese are listening to us. It was the Russians before, wasn't it?
Well, it was the Russians. Who knew? It could be the Russians. We stop being racist. Could be the Irish government, but they're so incompetent that I highly doubt it.
Could be the Russians.
It's probably in my head. The listeners probably won't even hear that, and I'm like, what?
What's going on there?
Yeah. So where are we? Other than the Russians listen to us, yeah. I guess that could be like that. Like, I guess if you are in that situation where you are coming into contact with celebrities and you come into contact enough of them will actually remember you. Okay, I can see where she might like she met Vin Diesel. They might have had a conversation. She might have said, I think he took an interest in me. And just forgot about as him just being polite. But then when he started messaging her, she gone, he actually really likes me.
Of course he does.
Yeah, like, he really, really likes me. She did think it was a bit strange that he didn't message her to his personal account now. But he had an explanation for this, saying that he couldn't write because his official media company would notice this and be on his case over it too fast. So that's, and she took that as a good enough explanation why he wasn't messing her on the official Vin Diesel account or his personal account. But like, he even went to the trouble of changing or editing YouTube videos that he appeared in to make them look like personalized messages for your one. So your man put a little bit of time and effort into this. Now you're probably wondering why she ended up a well-paid actor of £5,000.
Yeah.
He was like sending her, like I said, making these personalized videos, sending her a picture of like a safe with money in it, saying that he was going to send it to her as a present. But while filming in South Africa, he got mugged and needed money in order to get him home, and that he would end up repaying her when they met, kind of a thing. So she must have had a good few kind of gift cards. So she ended up like sending him over between 50 and 200 in gift cards, but ended up taking out a loan in order to send him money. So much so that she was unable to pay for her children's Christmas presents that year.
Oh.
So like,
how much of a loan did she take out?
Well, she ended up giving him like in total £5,000. So I don't know if this was just to get her, like just to get him home, because surely one, if he is Vin Diesel and he loses his wallet and there's no one that he knows in the film shoot to loan him money to get him home, or the studio wouldn't pay for him to get him home himself, surely he'd just take a bog standard flight from South Africa, and that wouldn't come to €5,000. It would be a one-way trip. At very most, it would be €700.
Would it?
Like at very most. So I wouldn't say there's any direct flights from South Africa to America. I imagine that you're going to fly into either Shannon or France or England, and then take a connecting flight. So it's probably could be up to 4 flights, because you might fly into then New York and then fly from New York to wherever Vin Diesel lives.
I'm assuming he lives in like LA or somewhere.
Yeah, so I imagine like there might be 3 connecting flights. Like I imagine he lives in LA as well. So I imagine there might be 3 connection flights. So you're looking at about €700. I imagine for a bog standard late minute flight. The fact that she paid him $5,000 would mean that like Vin Diesel lost his wallet and wanted to be flown first class home.
He has to fly home in the way that he's accustomed.
Yeah, he isn't accustomed to roughing it at all. And if she isn't able to pay him for it, like his €5,000 flight, then fuck off. This romance will never work, I guess. So yeah, she ended up like sending him over the money anyway, and getting herself obviously indebted to the point where she couldn't pay for her kids' Christmas presents, which is quite tragic.
And yeah, Vin Diesel not pay for them.
Well, Vin Diesel, yeah, should reach out to the actual Vin Diesel and explain her situation. Kind of eventually figured out that he was a con man. I wonder how she found out this, because the story doesn't go into all of it. Basically says she basically demanded to know who he was. I wonder if she went to her friend and just like, they're like, oh, you seen anybody? Or topic came up and she said like, do you know what? I've been messaging for the last few months. I've been messaging Vin Diesel. And her friend's like, what? Yeah. They're like, oh, you never believe what happened to him. He's over in South Africa. And the friend's like, oh my God, that's definitely a scam. She's just like, no, he really loves me. He calls me babe.
That's 100% Vin Diesel. Oh shit, that's classic Vin.
That's definitely Vin. Yeah, because like a lot of people will be like, oh, isn't he gay? Because like honestly, that was my first thought. I was like, I'm pretty sure Vin Diesel's gay. Now to the point where I said I should really do my research on this. So I Google search, is Vin Diesel gay? And apparently he isn't. But he has been plagued throughout his careers at rumours that he is gay, and he's kind of a little bit sick of like defending that fact that he's not gay. But surely, like maybe her friend was like, I'm pretty sure he's gay, even though he's 100% not gay.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, so like obviously she eventually she didn't find out his actual identity, but she asked the man to know who he was, he said, I am 23 years old. I'm a medical student, and this is how I finance my studies. Finished off by, sorry about that, thanks. And that's the last time he kind of heard from him. He obviously went on to the next person, pretending to be, I don't know, some other celebrity.
The Rock,
imagine. He's definitely good for a few grand.
Like, did she end up getting the money back?
No. The police are investigating this as the situation, but like she's trying to trace back through the accounts and all that. Obviously, you're going to use fake emails and stuff like that, so it is hard to trace back to the person who the person actually is. But yeah, unfortunately, so
Like,
has a celebrity ever like messaged you out of the blue and been like, "Hey, what's crack?"
I was just going to say that, like, how do you fall for stuff like that?
I know the only situation I know was a guy we used to train with, and Chris Cyborg. She followed him, and like he posted up a video, and she commented on it. Oh, great job! But he didn't follow her, so she just randomly added him.
Like actual Chris Cyborg.
Yeah, well, allegedly, I didn't actually go on to see if the account was verified or anything like that. But this what he said. It was actually her account, and she was like, he posted some jiu-jitsu photo video of him doing some technique, and she's like, "Oh, great, nice job." And he's like, "I can't believe she follows me because like I don't even follow her." So
Like, I do have a couple of celebrity, like, official blue tick accounts follow me on Instagram.
I don't think I do. I don't post on
Like,
the again any followers anyway.
but like that's about it.
I imagine like if people are trying to like build up their celeb following, their following overall, they might follow a few people who follow them, and or whatever, or they might see something on Instagram, say, "Oh, that guy has an interesting account. I'm gonna follow them." Like I imagine some people just randomly follow those people.
I know Aideen has blocked I won't say who it is,
Yeah,
but she's blocked a like Irish actor
oh really?
for being really creepy.
Oh, the plot thickens. Jesus. Oh, really interested to know who that was.
Yeah, being like really, really creepy. Like he was messaging her and he was like asking her out basically, like but like being just really, really fucking creepy about it. She was like, "Oh,
I
we weren't married." Like she was like, "I have a boyfriend and stuff," and he was like, "Oh, it's fine, whatever." But and then he'd message her again, like saying, "What are you up to?"
I know there's an Irish person like this. Okay, this is like a third person story. So the person that it happened to didn't tell me the story. It was someone that knew them. She was hit on by a very well known sports star from Ireland, and when he was like kind of rejected, he was like, "Do you know who I am?"
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Which like yeah, so like people do like but like they were both. Oh, I guess your 18's one was like online encounter, but the other one was celebrities. Like occasionally will message out to, but it's a very like it is a very odd thing. And like even with 18's thing, it was an Irish celebrity. It wasn't Vin fucking Diesel. Like if Vin Diesel, if Vin Diesel was just start messaging any girl that I was ever with, I'd be like, yeah, go have like it's Vin Diesel. You only have one chance at this.
Yeah, like usually
I wouldn't even
it'll
be
happen
mad.
like usually it'll be like the guy who was messaging Aideen, like he's somebody that you would like you'd kind of maybe know,
Yeah, yeah.
but you mightn't even know where you know him from.
Yeah, exactly. You got
Like,
oh that guy. Yeah, like
yeah,
it's so like yeah, but it is odd. But I do find like when I was younger, I was definitely like selling it. When I was like 18, like trying to sell a car. I remember trying to fill out with Prince, or something like that. Near getting filled. My dad's like, that's a scam. So like, but if you were like 18 or like you're a bit new to the world, like that kind of like that, those classic scams might go over your head. But this woman seems like she has children at this stage, so you think she'd have a little bit more cop on.
yeah, like but sometimes that's the people that fall for it more.
Yeah, that is true. I've definitely had a few aunties and uncles and other relatives like that. I've had to tell like, no, that's a scam. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
but
the same, but like I'm always amazed at how many people fall for those like Facebook scams where it's like, oh, we've been giving away a holiday, but the person can't take it because they're under 18. And then you check like the page transparency, and it's like the page was invented yesterday.
yeah, like I think some people obviously just see something that's like it feels too good to be true. But then they say, instead of saying, "Oh, it has to be fake," they go, "This is what an opportunity."
Yeah, like it's just mental.
Yeah. So what else is mental is if I ever came across chocolate snow, which apparently you have a story about. And it's
Yeah.
not even shit, because my first question, you said, it's chocolate snow. I was like, is it shit, Ken, by any chance?
Yeah, there's no, like, I don't really have a proper Ken story this week. It's strange.
Yeah, it's yeah, like, because that's what I thought it was. Like straight away, I thought it was like, this is gonna be like, obviously someone thought it was chocolate snow and it was not chocolate snow, but this is actual chocolate. Like, I do feel like this story is a little bit like ahead of its time. Like it's just it's summer has just ended. If this story was in October, like it, or like November, this would be perfectly seasoned. Like, who's getting snow right now?
Well, it's the Swiss apparently.
Oh, yeah, yeah, Switzerland. Okay, I know places in Switzerland are snowy year round because it's kind of it's so high up.
Yeah, this happened around the where the Lindt factory is.
Yeah.
All around the Lindt factory, the little town or whatever that's around it. There was like a day that they had chocolate snow, like literally like just brown snow, and obviously they were like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Did
So
anybody eat it?
I'm assuming that's how they first started going. What's up with this shit?
So, like, yeah. So you imagine, because obviously, if you see brown snow, everyone's first thought isn't chocolate.
Yeah. So they, well, I'm assuming it would have probably had a fairly chocolatey smell around the place.
Yeah.
When we get more into the story, like it'll kind of, the Lindt factory released a statement then afterwards saying that they had the ventilation system had some sort of a malfunction, and this was during like they had a period of high wind, so there was a malfunction in the ventilation system, and it actually starts sucking up all the cocoa nibs, and it like shot them out of the building, and the wind took them and like blew them, and obviously then when the wind started calming down, they start falling out of the sky and they start falling as snow. And there's a few photos of like cars and stuff that are like coated in kind of like, really really light snow. You know where it snows for like maybe an hour and nothing
Yeah,
really
it has
sticks.
kind
Like
of
the
done.
coating kind of just, it looks like somebody got a thing of hot chocolate and just like start sprinkling it around the place.
Man, if anybody got a super resolution photo of falling or video, a really good quality video, there's probably like chocolate companies in a few months that will pay top dollar for that footage.
Oh yeah,
Like,
like the Lindt company ended up, they paid to like get everybody's car cleaned, and they paid like to any stuff in your yard that was like damaged by it or whatever. They paid to replace all this shit.
oh yeah, they would have, yeah, any kind of damage like that to people's property like that, it comes from, because I often heard of
That's
happens every now and again, of a well-known bread company dropping flour, and then the flour going all of people's cars in like areas around it, and then them having to pay for them to all to be like taken off, and it's like it's really annoying.
it's really annoying.
Yeah, no, because our company's normally the one that's sent in to do it, and flour on car is like doesn't come off too easily.
Imagine how hard it is to get chocolate off a car.
Yeah, like I don't know if it would be worse than flour. Flour is just off. Flour just clings. It gets wet and just clings to everything. And if it wets and then dries, oh, good luck to you. So,
Yeah, I'd say imagine like the chocolate would probably start to melt.
not in frozen. Like, I imagine what chocolate would be like. It would act like any other dirt. And after it's wiped off, now you probably would have to be careful that like it doesn't scratch if it's like lumps of it. But like, I'd imagine that would just brush off, whereas flour does not. So like, do not pour flour over anybody's car, or else do if you don't like them, and if it's a drizzly rain. But you didn't
Does it
hear.
go to? Does it turn into like kind of fucking wallpaper paste?
Yeah, yeah. It's and like it's like it's almost like cement to get off. It's like super super annoying, and it leaves this like greasy residue on your car, and you'll wash it about 50 times. You almost have to buff it off.
Oh, the next time somebody's leaving work, that's what I'm doing. Somebody gets a new job, that's where the
Expect
best
them to
shrink wrapping.
burn your car out.
We used to shrink wrap cars.
Yeah, see that's a lot more like less vindictive.
Yeah, let's do the flower thing.
I'd like to dissociate anyone using flour on someone else's car as a prank. Do not use it. Yeah, honestly, you'll fuck their car up. So like, oh, I was kind of wanting.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. I kind of want to taste what chocolate snow tastes like. I wonder, like, Lindt is a pretty nice chocolate. So, like, obviously, if anybody was brave enough to stick their tongue out, it would have been pretty cool to be like that.
I imagine it would probably just taste like, hot chocolate, like before you put it in. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It would have been cool. It seems like something out of a movie, that like this happening to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it wouldn't be the smartest idea to like if next time it starts snowing, you see it's slightly discolored. As a word wise to our listeners, maybe presume that it's definitely not chocolate, and like 90% of the time, if you take that advice, you'll be right that it's not chocolate, but you will miss that one occasion where it is chocolate and it tastes. In Ireland, it would probably be just alcohol. Alcohol doesn't freeze, so if you're raining alcohol, that's
raining Guinness.
Raining Guinness. That's the dream. Definitely, what the dream isn't is me shooting myself in the nuts. But this is what happened to someone in America. Now,
that's the best segue
ever. As I'm trying to become the king of segues, whereas this guy was hailed by his Facebook group as their new king. A gun enthusiast was celebrated as a king after he shot himself in the nuts with a loaded pistol.
Why?
This new craze obviously happening in America with gun lovers, or at least with, I don't know if they know each other personally or else they know each other through this Facebook group, but the group's called the Loaded Pistols, and basically it's a group of gun lovers who point loaded guns at their genitals and take a photo. And kind of the reason why we're talking about this was the inevitable basically happened when one man discharged his weapon while pointing it at his nuts.
Why does it have to be loaded?
I think it's the danger of it happening. I don't know. See, that's what I was trying to figure. Like, you can't see. Like,
yeah, you could take the photo with an empty pistol and nobody know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it doesn't have to even be a gun. It could be like, there's pretty good replicas of guns.
It definitely doesn't need to be loaded.
Oh, the inevitable basically happened on Tuesday in San Diego. Posted a picture of himself bleeding, saying that he shot off his nuts.
For a photo.
In fairness, the guy took this extremely well. Basically, the group is just dedicated of like putting loaded weapons at their dicks. And apparently, after the incident happened, he posted a bloody picture and video on the page.
Oh.
The story was confirmed by police, the sheriff's office.
Did he perhaps do it on purpose?
Well, no. Well, I don't think he actually did. But the story was confirmed by the sheriff's department of the town that they're from. When Motherboard, the media company, were kind of investigating the story after hearing about the group of lads pointing loaded pistols at their gun, rather than taking like a step back and questioning whether their practices maybe might be improved or just stopped altogether, the group made him admin to the group and celebrated him as their new king.
Is that going to spark off a lot of copycat?
Like, by the sounds of it, the group doesn't even want to stop. Like I said, like, if one of you accidentally shot, like, you're in a group where you did this, like, I know, like, there's plenty of like weird lads groups. I've heard of one where lads just send pictures of their shits. So every time they have a shit, they take a photo of their shit and they send it to a WhatsApp group. And that's literally all the WhatsApp group is photos of their shits. It's the weirdest group ever. Like, so, I'm not surprised that there is a weird one where lads point, like, guns at their dicks. But the fact that it's loaded, first of all, and that, like, obviously they're not going to stop it, and it's made him their king. instead. They're doubling down by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it's very strange.
So apparently, when he uploaded a video, was of him pointing the loaded 1911 handgun at his junk. He paused for a brief second, and then the gun discharged.
So he definitely thought about it.
Well, no, not necessarily. He might have been, trying to take a photo, and that rubbing your hand, patting your stomach, where
Yeah.
you're obviously you're not trying to let your hand that's holding the gun flinch the same way that you might be pressing the phone to take a picture, and maybe that's what happened. That he was trying to do both of those things at the same time, which is like, that's the danger of it, that like your brain mixes up accidentally which thing it squeezes both of them at the same time, and you end up shooting yourself in the nuts. But it was a video, so that he wouldn't actually, unless he was pointing the gun and then started the video. Surely, like, you start the video and then point the gun. So all you're doing. But yeah. Anyway, the gun discharged. He's seen like the sense of humor of it. Like, he's seen the funny side of it, because he posted a photo then after shooting himself, saying, "Oh, I might have fucked up." That was his tagline.
I might have fucked up.
Yeah. Then showing a picture of his naked leg and blood on his carpet floor. Now, originally he did think like the thing just grazed his nuts and like it wasn't too bad, but he later found out that it completely pierced his balls.
Jesus.
Yeah, it went straight through his scrotum. So what he thought was 2 graze wounds was actually an entry in an exit hole. He was posting all the way through this happening. He didn't like stop. He didn't post the video and then the photo. He like basically gave them a running update as it was happening to them, and kind of feel like the funny side of it as well, because when he got to the hospital eventually, he posted a photo with him with a face mask on in a dressing gown, and he had his finger pointing to his nuts in the shape of a gun.
Of course he did.
But when Motherboard went to like message him about the incident, asking to try to get his opinion on it, he didn't want to really comment. So they got in touch with the group, and a member of the group basically said he's doing all right. He's 100% okay, and he actually went to work the next day.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that takes dedication. Like, to go to work, like, I remember when I got sunburned, I went to work the next day, but my friends were like, "Oh, fair play to you. I can't believe you went to work." And that was just a bit of sunburn. Imagine shooting yourself in the nuts and going to work the next day. I'm definitely taking a week off.
Oh, he's probably telling everybody, probably bragging about it.
Yeah, so yeah,
With himself.
I don't know. I would have thought you would have had to be in the hospital for a few days. I imagine that area is extremely sensitive to get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they said he was actually 100% okay. They continue on to tell Motherboard in the Facebook message that they're basically obviously having a conversation, saying that they're calling him their king, because the poor guy has already shot himself and he didn't need to be criticised by the whole world. He already kind of feels like that he's messed up. So they're kind of just like trying to cheer him up by calling him their king, and not pointing out that like he's an idiot, and saying he doesn't really need right now the whole world call him an idiot. So hopefully he doesn't listen to this podcast where we're probably just calling him a fucking idiot.
I wonder what gave him the idea that like
the whole world might call you an idiot. Like,
yeah.
One of the things, like, I imagine that he's in a relationship at this point.
Maybe not anymore.
Maybe not anymore. But I'd love to know how his girlfriend or partner reacted when he is like, "I shot myself in the nuts."
Of all places.
Yeah, well, like, obviously she might have been beside him when he was at some point he's taking a photo of him pointing a loaded gun at his nuts.
Or even better, if she was like downstairs or something and he did it upstairs, she just heard the shot and ran upstairs and he's after shooting himself in the sack.
Yeah, because I also went through their mattress off their couch. I know that's like not the biggest thing to be worrying about, but like she's probably going to be pissed off that her carpet on her floor is fucking round. Her husband has half the amount of nuts that he had before. and her couch is all, she'll probably need a new couch as well. But yeah, I imagine like if he is in a relationship, she's not too happy with him.
Wonder would he do it again?
Well, I imagine the fact that he was in the hospital posting, like, he gave him a running update. And like I said, all the posts that he was posting were quite humorous. Like, they weren't, oh shit, this was a really bad idea. Oh, hopefully I don't lose my nuts. Oh shit, lads. It was kind of like even one of his photos of him pointing his hand like a gun at his nuts. So I imagine the fact that he's a king of this group, of the Loaded Pistol group, he'll have to continue.
Oh, 100% he'd have to continue shooting his nuts.
Well, not. Well, I wonder if they will change their practice to. Oh, I guess they can't call it the Loaded Pistols pointed if like it's not a loaded pistol.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if they'll maybe make sure the safety's on, or maybe they. Oh,
That's
like,
another question, actually. Yeah, why is the safety not on?
yeah, is it like they're obviously not taking any precautions? Like, it just makes me cringe every time. Anytime I hear any of these stories of lads doing something to their genitals, it just does something to my stomach. Like, just gives me that weird, like, oh.
Oh, it's just brilliant.
Yeah. Have you ever been in any weird either Facebook groups or WhatsApp messaging groups where you did kind of weird activity?
No.
No, I've been in plenty of weird Facebook groups, but generally it's just talking about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, like I've been in some weird Facebook groups, but like, there's been like no weird things that we've.
Yeah, there's no activity that you all do that's either reckless or could get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only one that I said I ever heard of was the ones that took pictures of their shits. But like, I guess you know a Simpsons fan page.
Yeah.
The Ireland Simpsons fan page that got popular enough to the part where people were like saying that they should run in the election.
Yeah.
They have to actually come out and say like, okay, we actually aren't
going to do this.
Running as a political party. That was a joke, but the fact that this got this much traction, we are surprised. So that's the only other thing I've I heard of a group that was a Facebook group. I don't know if anybody can join, if it's a page necessarily, or if it's a private group between friends. But if you want to go search, and possibly, I imagine you have to have a loaded pistol in order to join, and you have to be willing enough to point it at your genitals. So it's a group personally that I don't want to be a part of. I don't know if within like a certain amount of time that if you haven't posted a photo of you pointing a loaded gun at your dick, you have to like get the hell out of there.
Yeah, it'd probably kick you out.
Yeah, but I guess you could just find photos online. But I guess they'd probably have a well search. I don't know how many people point guns at their nuts.
I won't be going pointing any guns at my nuts anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm not finished using mine.
I'm not finished using mine.
Maybe when I'm old. That's a weird, painful way to die. Just want to bleed out. Leave me to die.
There's so many unanswered questions.
Like,
did they manage to save his nuts?
It didn't actually say, but they did say he was 100% okay. So I take it like that he's still able to get like a hard on.
What happens now? What's next?
I don't know how you can like one up shooting yourself in the nuts. I imagine
there's a will, there's a way.
I imagine that you just continue. Like, you have to continue, I guess. You're now king of the group. You can't leave after this. So imagine he has to just. Surely it should never be on the trigger anyway. Like that's what they're meant to say to you anytime you go like a gun range is when you're not shooting a gun, it shouldn't be on the trigger. That's how accidents like this happen.
Yeah, it should be like on the
side of the gun.
Yeah, like the trigger guard.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they'll learn the lesson that way. But we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for this updates of the story, and we'll let you know if we ever hear and back from the Loaded Pistols group, or if anybody accidentally shoots himself again. And if they keep doing it the way they are, it is eventually going to happen. But yeah, if any weird WhatsApp or Facebook groups you know of that you want to let us know about, you can do that on all social medias at Shite Talk Show. Other than that, I think there's a problem with our iTunes. So I take it if you're listening to this podcast, you don't actually listen on iTunes. But if you know anybody that's given out about iTunes, I don't know what the story is with them. I'll complain about them on Twitter. That normally solves it. And for any our iTunes listeners, we apologise, but there's plenty of other more reliable podcast accounts that you can listen to us on that give weekly updates.
And there's always a problem with fucking iTunes.
I don't know what it is. Like it's definitely them, not me. Or like it's like everything, because in order to get it, you have to verify it at every stage that it's like that the RSS feed is like good. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna see if I can get to switch it over to just our Libsyn account and just stop it from going through our website, and just so it can get distributed like every other of our podcasts, and maybe that's the way of solving it, I think. But I don't know. I don't know if you can change the RSS feed once you submit it to iTunes. I think you have to then go and like basically do it all over again. It's kind of pain in the hole. Bastards, I know. We'll be back next Thursday with another episode, or Friday, as it's kind of lately fallen. We'll be back next week with another episode within a week.
At some
stage we'll have a podcast out for you. Don't worry about it, and stay tuned to our social media for all updates on the podcast.
Yeah, good luck.
Shut up and sit down.